speak on behalf of a fantastic group of soon-to-be nurses whom I have come to love as family. We are the 4th graduating class from the Texas A&M Health Science Center College of Nursing, and I couldn't be prouder. 2 years ago for my generic class, and a year and a half ago for the accelerated class, we began this journey. I remember looking around, surveying my peers, thinking, how the heck am I going to survive? Over these 2 years, not only have we grown as future nurses, but we have also grown as friends, learning to lean on each other and push each other to be the best that we can be. We began our first semester learning how to correctly take a blood pressure and how to assess our patients. We also had the wonderful opportunity to watch ourselves assess these standardized patients on camera and grade ourselves. So not only do you get to see that the camera really does add 10 pounds, but you get to see yourself trip as you walk through the door, nearly taking out the patient in the process. But Professor Livingston kept encouraging us, saying, it becomes more natural with experience. So we held on to that. After checking off on basic skills, we were split into clinical groups, sent to the hospital, and were actually allowed to take care of real people. For me, this is where the real learning took place. I learned very quickly the importance of developing a poker face, as Professor Hansen taught us, and that adult-sized diapers usually came with adult-sized messes. Eventually, we realized we did not need an army to change the linens, and if Professor Gary was on your floor, you better have your morning assessment finished and documented by 8 a.m. We learned that every day at the hospital is different and that each patient is unique. I can guarantee you, we all learned how quickly a code brown would come up. But at the end of the day, we knew we could rely on each other. While we started to become more comfortable in the hospital second semester, the classroom was another story. Between pathophysiology, pharmacology, and other classes, we felt as if we were struggling to keep our heads above water. I believe it was pretty obvious to the faculty that we were feeling this way because Professor Ehlert came into our class one day, handed us each a plastic fish, and told us to just keep swimming. I know some of my peers still have that little fish proudly on display as a reminder to just keep swimming. Thanks to our study groups and the always supportive faculty, we survived. I also would like to thank Professor Middlebrooks for her catchy anticholinergic song, and Professor Schrader for her amazing 150-slide lecture. Needless to say, we were well prepared for the following semesters. Over the next few semesters, we tackled Adult Health 1 and 2, Evidence-Based Practice, Aging, and other classes. These classes came chock full of projects, papers, clinical paperwork, and most notably, patho trees. I will never forget the first patho tree I made with a partner. It took us 8 hours at the library, and it was 4 sheets of paper taped together. Although they tended to be time-consuming and frustrating, I learned more from those patho trees than I ever thought I could learn. For our adult health classes, studying those were the key to success. After completing these classes, we realized we had survived 1 whole year of nursing school. It was amazing to see how far we had already come, and intimidating to think that in 1 year we would be graduating. Entering our second to last semester, we were pretty excited to start getting into specialty fields like pediatrics, mental health, and obstetrics. The generic and accelerated classes were able to take courses together for the first time, and we started to get to know each other. Even though we started out as 2 distinct groups, we have come together as one outstanding graduating class. By the end of fall semester, I'm sure we were all thinking, only 1 more left. By day 1 of spring semester, we hit the ground running fast. And I don't know about you all, but I am not a sprinter. We were all scrambling to put resumes together, asking professors for job recommendations, and looking up what job applications opened when and where. I felt as if I grew up more in that first month back than I have in my entire life. Eventually, things reached a relatively steady pace. We went to class, had tests and clinicals, applied for jobs, and really mastered